One mare walks and the herd follows her. Every yard, every trainer, every book says the same thing. She's the lead mare, and she decides where they go. But scientists filmed hundreds of those moments trying to identify her. They tested 3 ways. Departs first, walks in front, pulls the others along. Not one horse qualified. She doesn't exist. So when someone tells you to be the boss, they're telling you to copy a horse that was never there. Today we bust the lead mare myth. Most of us picture a horse herd the same way. One wise lead mare decides where everyone goes. The stallion drives them from behind. Everyone else falls in line, following a strict pecking order. It's a tidy story. It's also wrong. When researchers watched wild and free-roaming herds, no single horse was in charge of where they went. Leadership in a horse herd is shared. It keeps moving around, and the reason why flips everything you've been told about being the boss. So where did the bossy lead mare even come from? Not from watching wild herds. It grew out of horse training marketing in the 1970s. Become your horse's alpha, be the lead mare. It sold well. It just wasn't true. To see why, we need to split 2 words we usually treat as one: dominance and leadership. They sound the same. In a herd, they are not. Dominance is about resources. Who eats first when the hay goes out? Who claims the water? A dominant horse wins those contests. That's real, and we'll come back to it. Leadership is something else. It's about movement. Who walks off first, and who the others choose to follow. Here's the catch. The horse that wins the hay is often not the one the herd follows. It's like 2 different jobs in the same herd. The horse that guards the food isn't the one that finds the safe path. 2 separate things. One decides who eats first, the other decides where everyone goes. Aggression buys a horse the first bite. It doesn't buy the herd's trust. So if it isn't the toughest horse, who does start the herd moving? In Italy, researchers tracked 3 feral horse groups and asked one question: who begins each move? The answer surprised them. Almost any horse could. A mare, a youngster, a low-ranking one. One horse simply walks off and whoever agrees goes too. Next time, it's a different horse. The myth feels right because sometimes you do see one mare walk off and others follow. But watch for a week, and it's a different horse leading almost every time. Another study followed Przewalski horses, an ancient wild breed from Mongolia. They tested 3 ways to define a leader: departs first, walks in front, pulls others along. Not one horse qualified as the leader under any of them. Even the busiest starter kicked off only about 1/3 of the moves. The rest belonged to everyone else. This looks less like orders and more like a vote. A few horses drift toward the gate. When enough agree, the whole herd follows. But wait, what about the stallion driving everyone from behind? This part feels obvious. We've all seen a stallion round up his mares. So researchers watch domestic groups move from the first step to the last. The stallion rarely started the trip. Most of the time he traveled at the very back. From there he watched, scanning, keeping count, staying alert while the mares chose the direction. He wasn't commanding the herd, he was guarding it. That rearguard job keeps stragglers close and the whole group safer from predators. But here's the twist. When the guarding stallion was removed, the movements fell apart. The groups traveled several times slower, and the mares spread out, scattered and disorganized. So the stallion does matter, just not for choosing the direction. His job is holding the group together. So if strength doesn't lead and the stallion doesn't decide, who do horses actually follow? They follow the one who knows. Experience, not muscle. A horse that has found water before or knows the safe path gets followed more often. In one experiment, horses who knew where food was hidden pulled the group their way. Yet they didn't march out front. They nudged the herd quietly from the inside. Think about what a young horse really needs: a steady guide it can trust. Being followed comes down to one thing: reliability. Across every study, the same pattern shows up. Horses follow the calm, experienced ones, not the horse that wins the fights. Which leaves the question that started all of this. If no one is in charge, how does a herd warn each other about danger? Picture it. One horse refuses to cross a stream. Seconds later, the horse beside it is nervous too. No signal was given. No boss stepped in. Fear simply jumped from one horse to the next. This is emotional contagion. When one horse feels fear, the horses around it start to feel it too. And this is measurable. not just a nice idea. Put a calm, experienced horse next to a frightened one, and the frightened one's heart rate drops. Calm spreads the same way fear does. Both move sideways, horse to horse. And that is the proof the herd needs no commander. A frightened horse doesn't wait for a leader's order. The panic travels on its own, in an instant, through the whole group. For a prey animal, that's survival. Copy the bolting neighbor first, ask questions later, and you stay alive. So what does all this change for you and your horse? First, stop trying to be the alpha. The herd doesn't reward the boss. It rewards the calm, reliable one. Be the horse others trust. Steady, predictable, safe to be around. To a horse, that is leadership. Second, use a calm companion. A nervous or young horse borrows courage from a settled, experienced one, leading a scared horse past a trailer or into water. Let a calm friend go first. It beats force every time. And never pair two anxious horses for a scary job. Fear spreads. You will only double it. Third, watch your own nerves. Horses read your fear, too, in your heart rate, your posture, even your face. If you tense up at the scary corner, your horse feels it before you say a word. Fourth, plan who leads on a group ride. Put your calmest, most experienced horse at the front. Green or jumpy horses settle when they follow a steady one, and the whole ride stays quieter. If the horse in front is tense, that tension travels straight back down the line. So skip the horse that bosses everyone at the hay pile. Winning the food doesn't make a horse a good guide on the trail. Not sure who your steady one is? Watch your horses walk out to the field for a week. The horse the others drift after calmly and time after time is the one to trust up front. And don't lock that choice in stone. Today's calm leader might follow a different horse next month, and that's completely normal. Now, one important point so we don't swing too far the other way. This doesn't mean there's no order in a herd. There is. When food or water is tight, horses do form a clear ranking for who gets first access. That ranking is real, and it prevents fights by making the outcome predictable. The same horse can rule the hay net and still be just another follower on the trail. Which is why feeding setup matters. Put out more hay piles than horses with plenty of space. That way a lower-ranked horse can't get cornered, and no one gets hurt over a meal. And in big herds, some horses do stay more central over the years, usually the older, experienced ones. But central isn't the same as commander. No single horse runs the show. So the next time you watch a herd cross a field, look closer. There's no queen handing out orders. There's a quiet agreement shifting from day to day. The horse in front today might follow tomorrow. Nobody's in charge and nothing falls apart. That's not a herd missing a leader. It's a herd that never needed one. If this changed how you see your herd, subscribe. There's a lot more to understand.